Well, this is a really important conference. It's a flagship event. I'm delighted to be participating and leading the roundtable discussion, ministerial discussion on cross-border services. We're facing really challenging times, all of us. We've got fiscal challenges, we need to cut spending. The public across Europe is demanding more, both in terms of what they buy. People buy commercially in their private lives, but also in their interaction with the government. And the more we can do to provide people with public services digitally, online, the better it's going to be, both in terms of quality, choice, control by the citizen, but also in cutting costs for government, which we all need to do. The challenge for us all is do more and provide better services for less money, which is always a challenge. And technology, e-government is absolutely central to delivering that. So in terms of making this work, in terms of there being a single digital market, the key thing is interoperability. The key thing is open standards, agreed open standards across Europe, and I hope we can make further progress down that path. I think in the UK, we're thought to be something of a leader in this field. We've done a great deal, but we're only really at the beginning. We've established a policy of government services being delivered online by default, digital by default. And of course the challenge there is you not only need to provide the service online where it's capable of being delivered online, but also to close down the non-digital channels. And that's always difficult to do. There's always resistance to that, but it can be done, and we're, I think, leading the way in achieving that. We're trying to do things better more generally. We're procuring better, and we're buying across government better, using the scale of government, where again open standards, agreed open standards across government is absolutely key to delivering this. A public services network, telephony, so that there's a single set of standards, so all of the data and voice services across the whole public sector in Britain will eventually be interconnected in a much cheaper and more effective way. We're building a register of ICT assets and services so that every part of the public sector can eventually put on that what it is that they own, and so that if there's a particular service, particular software package, a particular system that's already been built or bought somewhere in the public sector, can be made available to other parts of the public sector. Again, make sure we don't constantly reinvent the wheel and constantly buy again what's already been paid for, often quite expensively, by the taxpayer. By buying across government, we're procuring much better. We're getting saving 25% when we buy basic ICT, software, hardware, services, and by using the scale of government across the piece. We're making much better use of open source software. We've got an open source implementation group, which is, again, agreeing ways in which open source providers can operate effectively for us. We're bringing together all of central government websites gradually all into one place, a single domain, so that we don't have this plethora, these huge numbers of different websites in different parts of government. We keep finding more of them, we keep closing them down, we want them all in one place. We've been through an alpha side, we're now on the beta side, and we want to pull this together, be much cheaper, single architecture, single domain, and that will save us a lot of money. Also be a much more friendly service, usable service for the citizen. So there's much more that we can do in the UK. We're happy to share our experiences with others, but we also want to learn from others. I heard a fascinating talk the other day at our cyber conference in London by the president of Estonia about the enormous amounts that Estonia has done. So we want to learn much more from all of our colleagues. I think we've all got experiences to share, much to learn. I think this conference is going to be very productive. Thank you.